Prawn here to tell you about mussel sprouts and why they matter in grounded and where to find them. So smoothies are really powerful because they can give you all sorts of boosts in terms of poison resistance, healing abilities, more damage and other things. They're really good for taking on the harder enemies. One of the bases for the smoothies is mussel sprouts. Now mussel sprouts are really beneficial because they are actually easy to reproduce. So the other ones aren't so much. Chewing gum, for example, is a bit hard to find, but the mussel sprouts you can actually grow in a garden patch. So you can see that I've got some growing here, and it's relatively easy to do, and I didn't realise that this was possible, but essentially you just put that in there along with some rotten food, and then you can grow a bunch of mussel sprouts right in your base, and quite a lot of them, so it's easy to produce a lot and then have smoothie materials going on a regular basis, or at least the base for them. So once you've planted them, you should find eventually the mussel sprouts will grow, and you'll either find the large ones, which you need to cut down with an axe like this. Just take care not to destroy your garden patch while you do it like I've just done. Or you'll find the smaller ones, which you can just pick. And then once you've done that, obviously you can just repeat the process and keep growing these mussel sprouts and then use them in your smoothies. Now in order to get mussel sprouts, what you need to do is to head over to the pond lab. So if you've not done that already, the main pond, you have to swim down into that and then go through the process of that. Now there's probably guides on how to do the pond lab, but the good news is if you've done it, you can revisit it and you can get those mussel sprouts. So on my first playthrough, I went through and I got the mussel sprouts and I came back out and I didn't think anything of it. But you can actually revisit the lab and those mussel sprouts have regrown in the lab. So essentially you just need to get back down there. Now to get into the lab in the first place is a little bit tricky. You need to make sure that you've got the gills and the mutations for swimming and the right equipment, maybe a smoothie to help you get down there, because you will drown several times otherwise. But once you've done that, you can then head back into the lab and then up into the top part of it. So in this main area here, you'll see there's a lot of mussel sprouts. So they will regrow over time. If you pick them, you can then take them back to your base and plant them there in the gardens, and therefore you can have easier access to them on a regular basis.